What's going on, Dr. Carter?
Okay. What's going on there, Mr. Carter? Are you ready for Motivation Mondays, Motivational Mondays?
It's that time of the week. It's that time of the week, so we're here to drop a few jewels. We don't know how glittery
Absolutely.
those jewels will be, but we're going to drop a few jewels.
We are definitely going to drop a few jewels here. I'm sitting here trying to multitask, and which is not my best friend here. I was trying to figure out how I can share this video on my story, but
Okay.
we're gonna figure this out here in a second. So, Steven, how's your week been? How's your weekend? Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's catch up.
I had a very busy weekend, so I attended a virtual gala on Saturday that was pretty fun. A lot of time and energy into that. And
Yeah.
then had dance competition with the kids. Man, it was a business crazy weekend. What about you?
You know what? I kind of relaxed. I really didn't do anything too crazy. I had a gala as well, an online event that was a lot of fun. And then Sunday, just kind of relaxed. It was a nice day, so it was good. Can't complain. So today we get a chance to talk about some of the things that we don't like to talk about around the holidays, right? It actually looks like I've already revealed one of them. I'll pull it off just for a second, but we want to just talk about some of the things that we have to deal with over the holidays that a lot of people just don't talk about, but it's real. You know, it's a real situation. The holidays are not so fun and glamorous for everybody. Sometimes there's things that happen over the holidays, and if you're not looking out for it, it can be an issue. Wouldn't you say, Steven?
Absolutely. This has traditionally been a very depressing time, a very difficult time for people to deal with. There's a lot of pressure. We talk about kind of the commercial pressure, capitalistic pressure that corporate has put on people to feel pressure to buy all these gifts, and whether or not you have a boo at home to spend Christmas with. It's a lot that goes through people's minds. And so, yes, it's a different kind of season for some people.
It is. It's definitely a different season, and it's hard. You know, it's hard when you've lost a family member or something like that. The holidays just aren't the same anymore. You look at things a little bit differently when it's time to spend time with loved ones, and that loved one may not be there. Maybe it's death, maybe it's a relationship that's broken up, a divorce, but it's hard. You know, it's really, really hard. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the hard part, and then we're going to talk about the solutions. And we're going to end on some motivational pieces. But I see Nicole Felder is in the house. Just want to say hi to Nicole, and good friend of ours. But let's go ahead and just jump into it, and we'll just get this party started. All right, so we're going to our first banner. So what we want to talk about are beware of the 4Ds. Beware of the 4Ds. So these are things that happen very, very commonly it's very common over the holidays. The first thing I want to talk about really quick is debt. And debt is something that, of course, we all can get in trouble with. We're trying to buy those gifts for our loved ones. It's Christmas time and it's gift giving time, and before you know it, you really spent money that you don't have. And one of the worst things you don't want to do. One of the worst things you can do over the holidays, and especially during a pandemic, is spend money that you don't have, not knowing what the future may hold. So overspending is a real problem, and we're going to talk about some solutions to that as well. But Steven, what's the second D?
The second D is depression. And I apologize, you guys. I'm having some technical difficulties. So if I'm freezing a little bit, hopefully we'll work it out the next time around. But depression is the second one. And we were talking about it earlier, Sterling, that Taraji P. Henson has a new show out that's coming up that's called Peace of Mind. And it's basically about talking about the mindset or the serious situation of mental health in the Black community. But obviously, it's an issue across all communities. But definitely around the season, people become depressed, just trying to figure out, how do I get the special gift for my kids or for my loved one? And they're already in a difficult economic situation because of COVID and being laid off or whatever the case may be. So it's a tough time. It's a really tough time.
It is a tough time. You know, it's really, really tough this time of year. And we'll talk about it, but we've got to check on each other. We just have to make sure that we're all okay, because these times can be really, really tough. And another big one that happens is diet, right? Because it's the holidays and it's your one opportunity to eat whatever you want, eat all that great food that your mother and your grandmother and your everyone else that cooks loves to cook. And we sometimes go overboard. You know, we eat more than we should. We're a little bit over the top with it. And so what we want to just avoid is overeating, and not only just overeating, but eating the wrong food. So we're going to talk about how you can combat that. But that's a real problem during the holidays. You don't want to start January 2021 10 pounds heavier, especially after already putting on 20 pounds or 19 pounds from the COVID-19 extra pounds since the pandemic. Right. That means you're going into 2021 with 30 extra pounds on you. So you do not want that in your life. But just want to say hello to Tommy Carter's out there. Kevin and Barbara King are watching. So hello to our family out there. But Stephen, last one we're going to talk about is death.
Yeah. So the last one is death. So obviously, around this time of the year, we're going into Christmas. We're going into these holidays where you're used to being with family members that may not be here anymore. So it's a difficult season to think about, how do I go through Christmas without my mom or my father or my brother, my sister, husband, spouse, whatever the case may be, especially what's going on with COVID. And there's been so many deaths, especially in communities of color. So because the virus has hit our community so much heavier than others. So dealing with the loss of someone and not having that person there when you're trying to spend those special times together, not even to mention that even if that person isn't physically, I mean, they haven't passed away, because of COVID, we can't see those people, right? Because we're trying to socially distance. And so even just going into a holiday where you're not able to see your mom when you normally would see them, and you've got to do it alone. It's something that we have to be aware of and understand that it's a mental piece, a mental space, a mental block that we're going through during the season.
That's real. It really, really, really is, and something we definitely have to be aware of. But we want to talk about solutions. So now that we've talked about the problems, let's jump right into the solutions and keep the party going. But just want to say hello to Tamar Bibbs is in the room, and Anthony Clay. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, we'd love for you to engage with us. We are just trying to start the conversation, but this is our conversation for us all to have, and just remind people about what things that they can do to live their life in a better way. So without further ado, let's go into some solutions. So how to prevent the 4 Ds.
So the first one is obviously we need to communicate and reach out to our loved ones. Reach out to those people, whether or not they're family or friends, the special people in your lives that you can always talk to and reach out to, that'll keep you positive, keep you motivated. Don't just be at home alone. Don't just kind of sit in a depressed state. You got to reach out and talk to people. A lot of times people are afraid to ask for help. They're afraid to talk to people and basically say, hey, listen, I'm struggling right now. I just need someone to talk to. And then at the same time, I'm going to encourage all of you guys that maybe if you're not going through anything right now, but if a friend reaches out to you and you haven't talked to them in a long time, take the time to take that phone call. I know we're busy. Sometimes we just want to, push bypass. Don't take the call. Right. Wait for somebody to text you. But sometimes just pick up the phone and talk to people just to hear a friendly voice on the other side. You may stop somebody from doing something very, very serious, harming themselves very serious, just by getting on the phone with them and talking them through an issue. It's a serious time.
It really is, Steve. You hit it on the nose. I mean, what we're talking about is depression on top of depression, right? Because we were already in a depressed state because of the pandemic, because we're not able to spend time with our family members, with our loved ones. We're not able to hold and cuddle we can't even get within 6 feet of each other, right? So that in itself is already depressing. And then on top of that, the holidays come when you're typically able to spend time with your loved ones. But no, now we're being advised, which is absolutely true, and we should, to not travel to go see your loved ones, to not spend time in big groups and that kind of thing. And so it's just compounding on top of each other. So we really have to, be careful and just reach out to our loved ones. You want to see them face to face, we jump on Zoom. There's so many different chats and opportunities to talk to each other and just spend some time with the people that you love the best way that you can. So good stuff, Stephen. Good stuff, Stephen. And we talked about avoiding spending a few minutes ago, and I'll just say a couple more things about that. If you have a credit card, this is not the time to use your credit card to go out on a spending spree. If you don't have the cash to buy those gifts, then just don't buy them. Remember, gift giving is not about the gift itself. It's about the act. It's about showing someone that you love and you care about them. So maybe just writing a nice note or a letter, or making a handmade card and just sending it to them. Sending a nice email and saying, during these times, I'm not able to give a gift, but I want to send my love. So there's a lot of ways that we can go about giving without spending, especially overspending.
And to add on to that, Sterling, you can do something creative. You don't have to actually go out and buy a gift. I mean, we forget about when we were kids and we were younger. You'd make out little cards for Christmas and tie some candy to it, make it very personable. But you wrote a note. You said how much you cared about somebody, and it was something that was creative and it was cute and it was something unique. And sometimes around this time, it's just not about the gift. Like I'm going to get her a Louis Vuitton purse that I'll have to pay for the next 3 months or what have you. Maybe just write out a nice card, or you make her something or make him something. Do something creative that doesn't cost a lot of money. I know it's difficult, but we're in a different season right now, and it should be more about the thought and not about the cost.
That's a really, really good question. So for everyone out there, just for fun, if last year you overspent for the holidays, you spent way more money than you wanted to spend, and you ended up with the new year feeling like, okay, why did I do that, and trying to pay off this debt? Just go ahead, raise your hand, say something in chat, say just say you understand, because it happens out there. It is happening out there for all of us. So
I just finished paying for last year's Christmas this month, so now I'm starting over again.
Exactly, and Stephen, the Carters over there, they're used to doing those big, huge parties for everybody to come over and just enjoy and all that kind of good stuff. It all comes with an expense, right?
It does. It really does.
We got to be careful. So, Tommy said, the importance of picking up the phone. He said he needs to call his uncle back. And he said he's been giving all year. So right now he's chilling. So that's a good thing. Sharp David said, great conversation. We appreciate that. Sharp, definitely engage and let us know what's going on. I think everyone else we said hello to. But
did we say hello to Cuz Troy? What's up, Troy Carter? That's our play cousin right there.
No, I didn't see. Oh, you're right. I saw the Carters and I missed Troy. What's going on, Cuz? So Troy Carter's in the place. But exercise, I'll jump into. Well, Steve, do you want to talk about exercise? Or are you really good with the counseling piece?
No, go ahead. Talk so I can jump into the exercise piece.
And actually, you're really good about the exercise piece too. But anyway, long story short, guys, we just want you to start a regimen. If you could walk for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, that's what's recommended by the Surgeon General. It will make a huge difference in your world. And in regards to reducing your stress level, of course, and improving your look, how you feel. You can lose weight. Your health overall is going to be huge. So exercise has been a big part of our lives for Stephen and I for some time now. And we've actually we try to wrap it up during times when there's really when it's really stressful, because you need that outlet. So Stephen, what are the things that you think about when you're talking about exercise and how it's benefited you?
Man, Sterling, you know that when I went through my season of COVID, so after COVID, I was so focused on health and changing, my body and my healthy eating and doing things differently. I've just been a beast in the gym, Sterling. It's now really, really something that not only a stress reliever, but just something that we have to do to make sure we're healthy, especially in the season right now. So taking vitamins on a regular. I'll be honest, I didn't used to do vitamins daily. Now I am so serious about it. I literally have about 10 different vitamins I take every morning just because I want to be healthy and I don't want to risk going through that situation again. So it's so important. And as Sterling mentioned, the stress reliever piece is critical as well. Just, even if you walk up for 30 minutes, you're not in front of a computer, you're not with others, you have a chance to just think and
Yeah.
be a little soul searcher.
You're outside, so right now in these times, you can just get out for a little bit and enjoy what God has blessed us with, this wonderful world, the beautiful weather, to hear the birds chirping, all that kind of good stuff. It makes all the difference in the world. So definitely encourage you to get out there and just any way you can do it, exercise, take care of your body, all that kind of good stuff. And the next big piece is take care of your mind.
Oh my God, take care of your mind. We talk about, so again, I think that in certain communities, especially communities of color, we're afraid of counseling. We're afraid to go sit down and talk to somebody. And we've got to break that stigma, right? I mean, church is great and, going to the pastor is excellent, but sometimes you need someone who is an expert who you can talk to, who's certified or they specialize in working through these issues. And having a sounding board or just someone to talk through things and just to feel like you're not alone and by yourself is something that I think that we all should do. So I know a lot of people will go through maybe marriage counseling. That may be the first form of counseling that you've ever done, but you've never, kind of done independent counseling and things of that nature. But you should. And whether or not you do a formal counseling piece, or if you're talking to a best friend, or if you're talking to another loved one, just having someone to talk things through. So you're not just turning those things over and over in your head. What would you say, Sterling?
I mean, I agree 100%. I tell you, I always remember this situation where I went to the counselor for my first time in my life, and I was out of college. It was my first major relationship, and that ended, right? And I was like, you know what? I need to go see a counselor, maybe just to kind of make sure that there's something that's within me that if it needs to be fixed, I need to fix it. Right. And I go to the counselor, and she was appalled. She was absolutely just appalled that I had never been to counseling before. In my mid-20s, that I had never actually seeked out counseling, and I think it's a cultural thing. But it's something that we have to make sure that we get comfortable with. If you're hurting, if something isn't right, you have to go out and seek help. I mean, you have to go and get counseling. And so I'm a big proponent of it now. And I think that it really, really having someone that can look from the outside looking in about on what's going on in your life is huge, especially a professional that can see what's going on. So, I mean, you're spot on, Steve, with that. And and Lanisha, hey, Miss Leisha, she said, our health is our wealth. That is key. Mark Winters sent the thumb up. Hey, Mark, good friend of ours. Anthony Clay said he's out exercising as he speaks. So he's listening, getting his mental stimulation and his physical stimulation all at the same time. And Jerry Baker Smith, Jerry says vitamin D and K3 is important for many. Yes, we're big proponents of vitamins and supplements. So excellent, good stuff. So again, guys, we want you all to engage with us, say hello, tell us what you're doing, tell us how you're spending your holidays. We want to hear about it. We're just trying to have a good time and give back in a positive way. So
hey, Cheryl, I wanted to shout out to, and I know you shouted out to Mark earlier, but Mark Winters is a very successful business guy, but he's also a musician. And he's also very heavily into music, and I think that is his passion or his way of taking a break, his way of getting away, and so he really enjoys it. and you can see the passion when he's performing. But I think it's just great when you find your own little hobby, you know, whatever that is, whether or not it's biking or working out or, you know, boating or, you know, travel, whatever the case may be, find your out so that you have something to do that takes your mind off of things and helps you calm down. But shout out to Mark for his musical pedigree and how well he does his thing and blesses other people with his performances.
Absolutely. And so for you guys, look, you know, Google, Instagram, Facebook, check out Mark Winters. He has albums out right now. He's always doing concerts that are giving back to the community. So big fan of that when you have someone that's really giving back to the community like that. Donna Ross, hey Donna, we appreciate you being online. She says good advice. Abe Mack, our brother from Langston University, proud police officer. We love what you do. Thank you for your service to our community, and love the post that you put out there about your decision to go ahead and do the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. I think that's important, and I think that we have to step up and be courageous and say, hey, I'm making that decision for me, and this is the reason why. So I really appreciate that, Abe.
Absolutely.
Spot on. And appreciation is we need to communicate more than ever. And I agree with you, Tommy, on that. Very, very important. So as we go into our next and our last topic, and that is the 5 things to do before 2021. So we talked about what can happen at the end of the year and how we can go through those, how you don't want to go through the 4 Ds, right? Debt, depression, poor diet, and even death. You know, suicide and death is a bad thing here. We talked about how to prevent that during these holidays, but now we're going to talk about what things we need to do in preparation for 2021. Because what we need to be doing is we need to be looking forward, right? And preparing for the future so that we're ready. So Stephen, do you want to start this off?
So I'll just say that when it comes to a plan, you know, we talked, Sterling are big proponents of speaking things into existence. You have to speak it into existence. But when you talk about your plan for 2021, everybody talks about, hey, I've got my New Year's resolution. Here's what I'm going to do. You just kind of say what it is, but you don't have any action plan behind it. So when we talk about a plan, the first thing you have to do is you have to speak it, you have to write it, and then you have to come up with a plan to get that done, right? And so we our goals and our plans should always be stretch goals. We should always, you know, aim for the moon, aim for the stars, and if we reach the moon, then we've done outstanding. But, you know, name those 5 things that you want to accomplish in 2021. Sterling's going to talk about the one thing here in a little bit, but name 5 things that you want to do in 2021. Write those things down, speak it, tell it to someone else so that you have an accountability partner, and then come up with a plan and say, here's how I'm going to get those 5 things done. And I challenge everybody to share those 5 things again with somebody else and just track it throughout the year. If you get 3 of those 5, you've still done something great. But get a plan together and go after it. Sterling, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Our annual plan, if you don't have a business, you still need a plan. What are you wanting to do for 2021? How do you want to make yourself better? And how are you going to do that? What's the plan? You know, creating a dream board. If you haven't created a dream board to kind of figure out, okay, these are the things that I want in life. I'm going to put it out there. Like Steven said, speak it out into existence, then write it down somewhere. And even if it's just creating a dream board, that's important as well. But then you need a plan. You need a plan. So I agree with you 100% on that, Steven. You are spot on. I love that. And Steven, I know you got this whole reset piece. I love what you were talking about earlier. So tell us about how we need to reset.
So, you know, again, we talk about the New Year's resolution and people kind of downplay that and make it seem like, oh, you're just going to do a New Year's resolution. Why even do a New Year's resolution? It's not going to come true. But no, I mean, I think, you know, it is great that we have, as a society, said that the end of a calendar year is a time for us to reset. It's a time for us to say that we're going to do something new. Lord knows that 2020 has been a very challenging year for a lot of people. If nothing else, we can take the end of this year and say, this is going to be our reset point. This is going to be the point that we say that everything that happened in 2020, everything before December 31st, that's all in the past. It's erased. It's gone, never to be seen again. And 2021 is a new year. It's a new me. It's a new you. It's something. It's a new process for us. And I'm not going to let the things that happened in my past stop me from my obtaining what I need to get in my future. And so, yes, use this as a reset. Whether or not you make a New Year's resolution or not, you at least are going to say this is the line in the sand that says that all of this other crap that happened before, that stops now, and now we're on to something new. What do you think, Sterling?
I love it. I love it. And I can't, you perfectly eloquently said. Just want to send a shout out to Derek Ingram, good friend of ours, smart young brother that has a healthcare staffing company like we do. So we always get a chance to bounce some ideas off of each other. Sabrina said making smart goals. She's spot on, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. That has been around for a very, very long time. Smart goals is how to write your goals. It's one thing to write goals, but then you want to write goals that are smart oriented. And then making sure that they're measurable and all that kind of good stuff. So spot on, Sabrina. Jennifer says she loves the term reset. So shouts out to Felicia James. Valerie Littlejohn is in the place. Brenda Taylor, our cousin, is out there enjoying Cabo right now.
Donna Ross.
Roy Roy, we still got to get out there and play some golf sometime. Mark Gordon, so many people. Donna Ross, a lot of people out there just saying hello. Carla Brown, Ruby Hallman. So thank you guys for jumping on as we move into our next thing to do in 2021, which is the Millionaire Mindset. So Stephen and I had this amazing conference back in the beginning of this year. It was called the Young Millionaire Series, and it was really, really just very motivational and moving. We had an opportunity to speak to a lot of people, young and old, that were interested in becoming millionaires, and we were giving out the keys, the tools to success. We had some of the brightest and best speakers and business owners in our times that were there speaking with us, and it was amazing. But one of the things that Stephen and I talked about in that was the millionaire mindset. And we talked about how if you want to succeed and you want to become a millionaire and you want to make a difference, you want to you want to be successful beyond your means, or you have to change your mindset. And it kind of talks about it. It's kind of what Stephen was talking about in regards to resetting, but it's what we call the law of attraction, and what Kobe Bryant talked about as the Black Mamba mindset. Kobe felt like and believed, I can't even say felt, he believed that that anything was possible, and that if he put forth the work, he could be the greatest basketball player of all time. And he was able to do things on the basketball court that no one else was able to do because he spoke it into existence. He moved as if he already had it, and then he achieved it. And so that, and when you start researching and you read about millionaires and what makes them different than those that don't attain millions, and it's all about mindset. And so what we implore you to do in regards to going into 2021, I want you to go into 2021 already accepting and receiving that I'm going to be a millionaire, that I'm going to be successful, that I'm going to make 2021 the best year I've ever had. Because when you say those things and you believe those things, then those things come to you, because it's what we call the law of attraction. And it's all about your mindset.
Sterling, you just were in the zone right now. I felt that. I mean, I'm trying to go get my millionaire status in 2021 based off of what you just said, brother. I'm feeling that, man. I'm feeling that. But no, you were right on point. I think that, we always talk about it, that in order for you to be successful, you have to do the things that other people don't want to do, or the things that other people won't do. And obviously that's about working hard, but it's also not just about working hard. It's also about getting your mind ready and reading a book every week, preparing, educating yourself, being willing to in the afternoon hours after work is done, you're doing something to learn something. We're going to talk about learn something new, but spending the time to learn something new. So, man, beautifully said, Sterling.
Thanks, Stephen. I appreciate that. So our next one, we're almost done. Just a couple things we want to recommend for 2021. And the other thing, or the next thing, is called the one thing. And so there's a great book out by Gary Keller, that one of my favorites, and it's called The One Thing. And it's a book that changed my life, absolutely changed my life, because it changed the way that I focus and prioritize things. So what we typically do as human beings is that we have a whole lot of things that we need to do in a short period of time. So what we typically do is we do the easy stuff that doesn't take us much time first. And those things that we do that's usually easiest and usually takes the least amount of time are usually the things that are most insignificant. Those are the things that really don't carry any value or any weight. So we're really trying to exponentially change the trajectory of our life. Then we need to focus on those hard things. We need to focus on the most important thing, the one thing that if you do it, it makes everything else in your world a little bit easier. It propels you significantly because that one thing is so important. And again, so it's usually the thing that you really don't want to do. You're trying to avoid it because you know it's going to take a little bit of work. That's the thing that you need to focus on. So when we talk about focusing on the one thing, when you move into 2021, every day you should start your day with focusing on that one thing that you know is the most important thing that you need to do, and spend an hour to 2 hours just focusing on that one thing first before you do anything else.
Absolutely. And that is a great book. We definitely encourage anyone who has not read The One Thing to pick it up. It's a great book. It's a great read. And speaking of that, as we go into our next topic, learn something new. I mean, that's the other thing, just as the book The One Thing was so impactful for Sterling. That was because he picked up a book and he wanted to learn. And the concept that we have, Sterling and I both believe in being lifelong learners. That means that even though we went through college and got our doctorate degree in Dr. Carter's situation, master's degree in my situation, we didn't just say that after we attain that, we're done. Like the more you learn, the more you realize that what you don't know. The more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. And so the one thing as well that is a common thread with millionaires and very successful people is that they're always learning, they're always improving themselves, they're always investing in themselves. So learn something new, spend that time to figure out something new. And one other pet peeve that I have, or just something that I'll say I've learned, is that I love to travel, because every time you travel to a different place, again, you see something new. You see something that you're, just in the city limits of Houston, Texas, if you will. If I never left Houston, I would never know about the beauty of Barcelona or the beauty of Santorini, Greece, or the way things are done in Italy or different places like that. But it's people have a different mindset. They do things different, and it just allows you to see things from a different perspective. What do you think, Sterling?
That's a really good point, Stephen, that you brought on as we get close to a close. Is learning something new and really experiencing something new. Like you said, Stephen, I remember I was talking to someone, one of my patients not too long ago, and I was talking about the military. And one of the things that even when we were young, we had an opportunity to travel across the world and do things, because just being in the military allowed us the opportunity to see different things and to look at and when you see different things and you see different cultures and you go to different countries, it changes the way you look at things in life, because what we see is only what we can see. So if we're just in our city, in our town, and we've never left that city and town, then all we know is what we've been able to see. So by going and traveling around the world, going and seeing other things, going and learning different things, reading books, watching educational videos, going on YouTube. Even YouTube has some great information on it. All of those things are opportunities for you to learn a little bit more about life, and it opens your horizon, and it opens up that Pandora's box, as they say, so that you can truly see success in your life. So it's the key to life. You always have to continue learning. You always have to. And I just want to say hello again to Ruby. Ruby Hallman says season's greetings to you, Ruby. Jennifer Davis, be willing to try something new? Absolutely. And Abe said exactly. So that is so true. Ruby says the greatest investment is self-investment. Very, very well said. Spot on, spot on. So Stephen, anything you want to say as we close our Motivational Mondays?
Well, I think, I was thinking about it earlier. I think, possibly this may be our last broadcast of the year because of travel and all of that next week. So I guess we should wish you guys obviously a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Spend some time with family and being thankful for all of the goodness that we have, the fact that you're alive and you can woke up this morning and all of those beautiful things. This is a season to not take anything for granted. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Would like to say the same thing and hello to Tanisha. Love your post. She said happy holidays, and Abe says get those passports. But guys, we really, really want you to have a safe and happy holiday. Enjoy Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We want you to have a good one. And have a happy and safe New Year. Make it great. We're definitely going to do the same. We're going to make the best of this season, and take care of your loved ones, as we talked about. Let's bring it full circle. Let's take care of our loved ones. Reach out and call the people that you love. Make sure you're eating right. You're taking care of your diets. You're exercising, and talk to someone if you need help. Talk to someone. We want you to still be around in 2021.
That's it.
All righty. We all have a great evening. Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.